Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome for our RTL online trainings and placement. So this demo session, we are going to talk about Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Placement Batch. Oracle Fusion Cloud Financials Placement Batch. We are going to talk. So what are the prerequisites? Before we go for start this, I am going to explain you what are the prerequisites. What is the action plan we are going to perform regarding the placement and how we are going to perform the placement here. That's what we are going to discuss in this particular demo session. So the prerequisites for this particular batch is you must be a graduate having at least 3 years of gap after your completion of graduation. Maybe you are a BCom graduate or BSc or BTech or MBA or MCA. You must have at least 3 years of gap after completion of the graduation. So that's the first criteria. The second criteria is you must have a good communication skills. Even if you are having average communication skills also, once you join in this particular batch, if you work sincerely as per our RTL online trainings, guidelines and instructions, you can improve your skills. But you have to follow our guidelines. You have to follow our guidelines. Make sure that you have already completed Fusion Financials course at least 50%. At least 50% of the course you might have completed. Maybe you are running in the current batch already, either with our RTL online trainings or with some other trainer or some other institute. Maybe you have purchased some videos somewhere else and you might have done some practice. At least 50%. Make sure that you have already done. Then you are eligible here. And at least 3 hours per day, you are supposed to allocate for us. It's complete online. There is no question of offline for this. RTL recognize and believe that if the consultant is anywhere, if he is dedicated, he is ready to work, then it's 100% it's going to be done. It's not only offline. See, why we required offline? When the trainer wants to, you want to interact with the trainer one-to-one or in the classroom and clarify your doubts and get some assignment. That's what we are going to do it in our placement batch. And make sure that who are not in the process of proxy. No. If somebody says that I want to clear the interviews myself, I want to update the myself subject, I want to work independently, I don't want any job support. I don't want any job support. Only those people are allowed for this batch. If somebody is depending on the backdoor, if somebody is depending on the proxies, if somebody is depending on the support from someone else, once you join in the job, then please do not join. This is for the people who are ready to work hard, dedicate, learn the subject, and be perfect, and sit in front of the interviewer and ask them whatever you want to ask, you ask me. Maybe in the first interview, they'll ask 15 questions, second interview, 20 questions, third interview, 10 questions. After fifth interview, how many questions it will come? 70, 80 questions comes to your mind. So we have to be update every day, all those questions. In our placement batch, we are going to take maximum 10 members. Maximum 10 members we are going to take. Every person is going to attend for the interviews every day. Every day, at least 2 to 3 consultants are going to attend for the interviews. It means on an average per day, we are going to get 30 interview questions. In a month, we are going to receive around 700 to 1000 questions and answers in our placement batch. Those things we are going to do it practically, and we are going to get training how we have to give the answer in the interview point of view. Okay, including the advanced topics, here. So these are the prerequisites. If you are not any of this part, then this batch is not for you. Maybe due to any reason, maybe you are not eligible or you are not interested in any of this particular transaction, then it's going to be not eligible. And this course duration is going to be 35 days. 35 days we are going to conduct. Monday to Saturday. Sometimes Saturday we will give the assignment. Session may not be there, but we will provide you the assignment on Friday and we'll ask you to submit on Monday evening. Okay. And this is going to be complete online and we are going to have 5:30 p.m. IST to minimum 2 hours, 7:30 p.m. IST, minimum 2 hours. Why I'm telling minimum 2 hours is I'm going to explain one process. I'll ask you to do that particular assignment. Then that particular assignment, we will be getting a lot of errors we have to rectify. That will be continued for, sometimes 8 o'clock, 8:30 also. And everybody should be in a position to share the screen and give the demo. Whatever the assignment we have done, we have assigned to the consultants, the 10 members, I can ask anyone to give the demo. Or I can ask you to perform that particular assignment in online. It should be in a position to share the screen consultant, and then he is supposed to perform the assignment task. Of course, we are here to help you, and we are trying to rectify and we are trying to motivate you to complete in case if somebody is weak in the subject areas and all, maybe in communication. So there somebody will have a good communication, but when they try to give the demo, they will not be able to get it. The reason why we go for most of the times demo point of view is when you are attending for an interview, you have already given the demo number of times. For example, in account payables module, I'll ask you to configure the withholding tax setup for a particular supplier. Then you are supposed to perform that withholding tax with explanation. It's not like, okay, do this practice. You are supposed to tell first what is withholding tax. If I want to configure withholding tax, first we have to create a supplier. For that supplier, we are supposed to configure one tax authority, withholding tax supplier. Then we will go to FSM environment. In FSM environment, we are going to configure the tax codes, tax groups, tax classifications, and we will go for associate this tax group to the supplier. Then we will enable at supplier level, supplier site level. And once these all setups are done, then we'll go for test it. For that, we'll create a couple of invoices and we'll raise the invoice. Then we'll check withholding tax has been generated or not. And we'll also verify that invoice number has been generated or not. So this, like this, we'll be performing the setups as well as the test cases, and then we'll go for prepare a documentation for that. So here, 3 things we are going to do at a time. One, you are going to prepare a document which will improve your documentation skills. This is very much important when you are a functional consultant in the real time. Second one, when you are going for an interview, you know everything. You might have created number of times recurring invoice, interest invoice, bills payable, in account receivables module, chargeback, credit memo, debit memo, reciprocal customer, supplier match. All this we have done multiple times. But if they ask you, can you tell me what is reciprocal customer? No, we don't have the definition. Or maybe we know the definition, but the way you are explaining to the interviewer, they will identify you are just got trained and you are good in the subject, but you are not experienced. When they will come to know you are experienced consultant, whenever they ask you the question, then you should be in a position to give a perfect answer. When I say answer, perfect answer, everybody can give the answer. Only few people will give the perfect answer without any tension, without any gap, without taking anything backward in the sense you will explain something and you will say, no, not this, and again come back and it will be like this. This type of transactions will not happen with the experienced consultant. Then what we have to do, we have just got trained, we are good in subject, and we are going ahead with 3 years experience or 4 years experience in front of the interviewer, then we should go for up to that level, right? Their expectation also is like that. So then we have to perform multiple assignments, multiple tasks, and multiple demos. with explanation. You might have done number of times order to cash cycle, procure to pay cycle, accounting entries and everything. But when you given the demo, when you have speaked about it, you will open the laptop and you will perform the transaction. So that's it. That's very good for practice. Then where is the question of your demos? Where is the question of mock interviews? At least 30, 40 mock interviews you are supposed to involve, right? Every day, 15 minutes, somebody is going to do the mock interview. Then when you are trying to give the answers, then they'll go for rectify, right? That is what is going to be a placement batch. Okay, here 80% consultant is going to perform. Only 20% I am going to specify. I'm very clear about this. 80% in the session, 2 hours. Out of 2 hours, my screen will be shared only 20 minutes or max 30 minutes. 1.5 hour screen will be shared by the consultants, people who are participating. I don't want to do that assignment. I will ask you to do it. Anybody out of 10 members, I'll ask the consultant to do it. When the consultant is doing, if he is doing wrong, or if he is facing the problem, then I am there. Yes, you have done this mistake. You are not supposed to do like this. Okay, when you are going to create some invoice, you got some accounting entry problem. Exactly in which setup that issue has raised. I will help you to complete the assignment. Like that, we are going to do the sessions. It means I don't want to be perfect again because I'm already perfect in the subject up to some level. I want to make you perfect because you are the person who is supposed to clear the interview. You are the person who is supposed to work in the project. You are the person who is supposed to interact with the client. That's what we are going to do it in our placement batch. If I am going to speak, my communication skills will be increased. If I am going to perform the transactions or assignments, then my subject is going to be perfect inside of me. I'm already perfect in the subject up to 6 years to 7 years. I'm experienced with around 6 to 7 years. I'm okay up to that. But I want to make you perfect because we wanted to eliminate these two things from our profile. I'm telling once again, whoever wants to clear the interviews themselves, whoever wants to work in the company them on their own skills, then we are ready to go ahead with this particular placement batch. Of course, support 10% or 15% expectation is very common. Nobody is perfect. Even I am also not perfect sometimes. Like last one interview, they have asked me, I would like to go for keep my eye on a particular account. For example, there is a expenditure, organization expenditure is going to be more in the particular business unit or particular department. But I want to keep separate eye on that. Is there any concept behind that? I was not able to memorize immediately in the interview. Then after that, I have searched and I came up with that. There is a concept called account monitor. There we can configure the setup. Automatically, it will go for show the pop-up message in different colors saying that this account you already mentioned important and keep eye on that up to some limit. The limit is getting exceeded. So please keep an eye on this particular account. Like that, every day I try to update myself and the people whoever is working or people whoever is trying for a jobs, okay, they have to also keep on go for updating themselves. So here, make sure that when you are coming to the session, you want to do that particular assignment and make sure that you are clear and with the demo, with the documentation, then automatically your confidence levels will be more and you are going to work. So that's the reason we are going to ask the consultant to pay only 10% of fees initially, and 90% of the fees you pay it after placement. After placement, you are going to pay only 10% of the fees initially and 90% of the fees after placement. So what is the fees? You please talk with our admin person. I don't want to reveal that in this particular demo. I will give you the number, please. You can find RTL Online Training YouTube channel, and you can go for any video here, and you will find these numbers. Communicate with these numbers. They will provide you the fees details. But I can tell the percentage of amount which you are paying for the initial training. Actual training cost is, if it is $100, for example, you are paying only $10 initially. $90 you are going to pay once offer letter is released. That is very clear. Okay. So these are the prerequisites. Then what we are going to do? Let me talk about the action plan. Action plan, what I am going to do it here. When we talk about financials, whenever we are going to prepare a resume between 3 to 4 years of experience consultant, a minimum 3 modules are expected. GLAPR, including this cash management is required and expense module is required. Of course, the tax also will be the expecting. Fixed assets, generally the client's expectation is not going to be that much, because assets module implementation, very few people will do it, not everybody. And we can say that we are good in implementation of fixed assets, but not done in the practical oriented. It's not get materialized. So remaining all modules, we can say that we are experienced, we are comfortable to work in implementation as well as in the support projects in the cloud environment, and we are an individual contributor. In the sense, if you assign any task, myself, I can go for interact with the business user and prepare a document, get approval from the client, and then configure the setups in development instance and migrate to testing, and again do the testing and deliver to the user, and again ask them to follow the user acceptance test. And finally, we are going to sign off. It means I am a functional consultant as a team member, as an individual contributor without any support from other team members. Myself, I can deliver this entire component. So that's the way of our projection should be there in the interview as well as in the project also. For this, we have to do a lot of exercise, a lot of assignments we are supposed to perform. We already know that. I'll give you an example. Generally in a training, as a trainer, even I am also a trainer, I'll give the training, normal batches. We will have a standard, we will have a standard syllabus. We will be performing all those setups and we'll be performing all those transactions. During that, any doubts are there from the consultants? Yes, we'll perform it. For example, purchase order based invoice is there. I'll just give an example. Okay. So as a trainer, what I'll do, so in account payables module, invoices are different types: standard memo, standard invoice, credit memo, debit memo, withholding tax, recurring invoices, and interest invoices. PO based invoice also is there. It means based on the purchase order, invoice will be raised. Okay. So now that there are different types of invoice generations options is there. So generally, as a trainer, what we'll do, we'll go to procurement module. We'll explain, okay, what is procurement, requisition, RFQ, quotation, purchase order, and receipt. We'll create one purchase order and we'll raise the receipt. For that, we'll go for create an invoice. So that a particular transaction will take around 30 minutes or 40 minutes. We'll complete that particular topic. Right. So that is as a trainer, not only me, any trainer will do that. In that, obviously, the audience may ask some doubts, we'll go for clarify. But now there are number of scenarios in purchase order. There is a concept called pay on receipt. When you create a receipt, then only we want to allow them to make the payment. Before that, we don't want to allow them to make the payment. For example, purchase order is already raised. For that, invoice also is raised. But we received the material and we wanted to return back. When you return the material, debit memo will be raised in account payables. That is another scenario. We have to perform that. So as a trainer, it's very difficult in the normal batch to complete all these different scenarios. Not only me, any other trainer, I do any other institute also. I don't want to blame the trainers here. That is a basic concept. General training means there will be a standard syllabus. Obviously, we are going to explain the entire syllabus with the practicals. During that, if the audience are going to ask any doubts, then we are supposed to clarify those doubts. That's a basic responsibility from the trainer. Any trainer, not only me, anybody, anyone else. But when it comes for the placement, we are going to keep eye on that. We are putting 4 plus or 3 plus. Then obviously we have to go with the different scenarios with explanation. I will tell you, okay, create a purchase order, receive the material, check that invoice is raised or not, then return the material, then again check that debit memo is created or not, and check in supplier portal the invoice has been cancelled or not. I will not do that. I'll ask you to do it. You will perform it. During that, I will help you. Okay, what is the first step? Log into the applications. Okay, then what is the second step? Create a purchase order. If you want to create a purchase order, you must be a buyer. First, enable the buyer enable option. Then create a purchase order. If you want to create PO, then you must have the access to the purchase order role. Then you must have the access to purchase order data access for which business unit you want to create a PO. Okay, we'll create a purchase order. Then we want to receive the material into inventory. Then you need access to inventory roles and inventory data access. Fine. Then receive the material. After that, check that invoice is raised or not. You need account payables roles, account receive, account payables data access. Okay, add it and check. This is how I will go for a design sequence of steps for an assignment. Okay, then you have to perform. For some of the examples I have mentioned in YouTube, you can go through that particular videos, then you'll understand here. Recently I have uploaded. You can go to playlist. If you are a finance consultant, you can go through the financials, options here you will find. And if you are a HCM guy here, supply chain management, like this. Present supply. See, this is an assignment which we are going to perform here. So creating an eye on this here. See, this is one of the development of purchase order creation, hiring employee, adding procurement roles to the user. This, it's not like, okay, you are going to perform a sequence of setups and perform that dynamically. I'll give you one scenario. I'll ask you to perform that and I'll help you to design the assignment. But some of the things we are going to take, I am going to explain, like resume point of view, implementation process point of view, image processing view, approvals, and then different accounting entries and interview FAQs. This all we are going to talk it. There I am going to explain. That is what I can say, this percentage of subject. Module wise, we are going to perform in all this. I'm frankly telling again, fixed assets model, I'll just update basic things. I don't want to do the false commitment. In the demo session, whatever I am explaining here, I'm committed for this. Beyond that, if you ask, I may try, but I cannot confirm that. But whatever I'm talking right now in this demo, I'm committed for that. Okay. So all these things, we are going to have different scenarios, different options, but this particular module, I can say, okay, the basic up to some level. Of course, in the interview, you can go for perform, but with the experience, I'm not that much confident for assets module. Okay. So technical, it is there. Obviously, technical, if you are good in this area, we can go for technical things. If you are going to spend every day 3 hours for the subject, 3 hours per day for the subject, other than my session, again, I'm telling you, evening 2 hours, whatever we are going to sit. Other than this 2 hours, 3 hours you have to sit. I'm talking about this 3 hours is other than our session timing. Session timing is completely for your assignment. You are going to perform. For example, tomorrow, whatever the assignment we are going to perform, I'll give that today. So how the assignment process will do is, let's say tomorrow we are going to talk about the PO invoice, purchase order and account payables invoice assignment. So I'll ask you to do it first, how to create a purchase order. Then how to create invoice for that purchase order. And check up in the supplier portal. How will you check in the supplier portal this invoice? Because once you send invoice, it will go to supplier, that we have to check in the supplier portal. Then another assignment is check the pay and receipt. Then how will you receive the goods? After receiving the goods, then you are going to perform the invoice creation. Then you are going to check again. This is second assignment. Return the goods. Return the goods. When you return the goods, you are supposed to go with the debit memo, right? Create debit memo and check the purchase order status. So I'll tell you that tomorrow this is going to be our assignment. Then I have to give some input for you, right? Because you don't know the assignment. I will share you the videos. I will share you the documentation. You are supposed to go through these 3 hours in your day, do practice, and you are supposed to present here. This is the place where you are going to give your presentation. Out of 10 members, someone else will, I can ask anyone. One day I'll ask X person, one day I'll ask Y person, but I am ready to help you. Even if you say I have done one time, I got failed and I was not able to get it or this, then I'll ask you to do it. I'm ready to help. Okay. So that's how our training will go on. That's why I said very clearly, if you say I cannot share my screen, I'll be just be an audience. No, we don't want to entertain those type of consultants for our placement batch, because we cannot project your profiles to our referred companies. Some companies have started referring us. Anybody is there good in the subject, everything, please refer us. Then we are going to refer. We just started. I don't want to give again, something which is not there with RTL. RTL is just started, included. This is our placement batch, third batch. Last 2 batches, 50% has got placed. 50% in progress. This is a result in November, December, January. Just imagine how the market was there last November 2022, December 2022, and January 2023. Now we are in February. So November, December, January, it was horrible. We were not having even any calls, but 50% of the consultants got placed as a trained fresher, as 2+ or 3+, whatever it is. So now the companies have started calling us. Anybody is there good in the subject. So if we have someone else which is not having a hard work type of capabilities, then we cannot refer, right? So we will be doing it very effectively, this particular placement batch, to increase our company brand value towards to the placement. We are very good so far in our RTL online trainings. We got exclusive Oracle Cloud. We are not in any other technologies so far. Maybe in future, I'm not sure about RTL company. In RTL online trainings, exclusively we are cloud 8.2K subscribers. 8,200 subscribers exclusively in RTL. We are very good in training, but we want to also be very good in the placement activity. If we want to be a very good placement activity, we are looking for a consultants who are ready to follow these rules and regulations and get settled yourself. You are supposed to get settled in your life, right? With this job and get a good package, good opportunities, right? So this is the reason when I'm going to give an assignment, I will give you the documentation and videos today itself. I'll ask you to do this work. Tomorrow will be the presentation. So tomorrow morning or today night, you have to do all this work in offline. And tomorrow when you comes into the session, you are supposed to give the demo for that. I can ask anyone out of the 10 members. If anybody is struggling during that process, I'll go for give the help and make sure that everybody is perfect. Out of that, we'll discuss what is the question they'll ask, what is the answer we are supposed to give it. FAQs there itself will go for discuss and complete. Okay. For all the FAQs, we are going to build one mobile app. Most probably on March 1st, we are launching the mobile app exclusively for this FAQs and other real-time options here. So all placement people will have the access to that particular mobile app. Will be having the complete options. Okay. So as I said, placement, as I said, the previous one, there are some refer companies, but I don't want to tell some false statement. I said just some companies have started. We don't have very big brand across India, and not that much level, but we are planning to go to up to that level. We are planning to go to up to that level. If any company says that we are looking for a good financial functional consultants, then the one name should come into their mind, that is called RTL Online Training. That's what the brand we wanted to build. We just started. This is our third batch, but we wanted to reach up to that level. That is our target. So I don't want to give. We just started and we are good. And that is one way we are going to do that. Another one is as usual our Nowkri, that we know everybody. It's a universal truth. When we want to apply for a job, that's the only website which is very faster, called Nowkri. In Nowkri, we are going to publish our profile and we'll be getting the calls and we are going to interact. For every interview, after that, we are going to have interview questions and then discussions. It's not that 35 days after that we are going to leave the candidates. After 35 days, again, we will have a mock interviews. Your resume will be there in the market, your resume explanation, because resume preparation will be different from one consultant to another consultant. So we are going to talk about that. And then we will be having a mock interviews, and me and two more people, total 3 members are going to involve. One person will take mock interviews, one person will talk about the resume, one person, I am going to major mine only, major subject assignment, clearing everything I am going to take care of. Okay, so that's about the prerequisites for this Vision Financials placement batch and the action plan, what we are going to perform, how we are going to run this, what is the difference between normal batch and placement batch, and how we are going to refer it for the placement in the market. Okay, so this is about the demo session what I have given here. It is. So if you are not subscribed for our YouTube channel, just subscribe. Anyway, I'm going to keep this particular demo in our YouTube immediately after this particular session. You can also go through. After going through, if you have any doubts, please contact our admin regarding the subject. If you have any doubts, now you can go for ask me. I'm going to unmute everybody. You can go for ask, please. Yes, please. Yes, Jyoti, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir, good morning.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, is there any batch in the morning connected by you?
No, we don't have morning because I am completely occupied morning regular sessions till 9:30 and 10 o'clock my office will be started and 5 p.m. it will be closed. So it will be 5:30 p.m. We are sorry for that.
Okay.
Because
So,
2.5 hours I have to be present in the session. That's in obviously not possible in the morning sessions. Yeah.
so if you want to join, how can we access your videos? Like,
Yeah, please communicate with our admin. They will provide the details.
Okay.
Yes.
And we are new to this process, sir. So we have not done the Fusion Financial.
You have not completed. You have not. I'm sorry. You have not completed Fusion Financials course at least 50%.
But we have interest in this to join this. Yeah.
Yeah, that is fine, madam. What your interest is
So,
fine. But what I'm asking is, have you completed Fusion Financials course, or you are in process anywhere?
No, sir. Not yet.
Okay, then it is not possible. Please communicate with our admin. They will guide you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, please guide.
Thank you.
So the people who are going to participate in this particular placement batch, make sure that they have completed already at least 50%, because in this batch we are not going to talk about the basic things. If I'm going to explain again, raise the invoice for a purchase order, then what is the difference? Already we have done in normal batch, right? So the people who has already completed normal batch will feel that this syllabus is we already done. Then what is the difference? And how we can go for interview point of view with experience and consultant. So that's the reason. Please complete at least 50%, because in the demos, when you are going to present a demo, you should not ask the basic questions like how I can add the role, what are the roles. Some business unit is not populated. Where do we find the problem? This all troubleshooting minimum things should be that. For example, we are trying to perform some we are trying to perform some business unit act setups, common options for payables and procurement, invoice options, and payment options. Their business unit is not populated. What could be the reason? I'll tell you immediately. Go to assign business unit, business function, and check that BU is yeah, attached to the legal entity, but checkboxes are enabled. Business functions are enabled or not. But if the consultant says that where I have to do, then it is a problem for me. So when I give the navigation, immediately you should go there and do that. Maybe you do not have an idea like what setup we have to check, but I'll tell that. Yeah, please check that setup that might be missing. So go there and do it. Then you should be in a position to immediately navigate and perform that particular action. That's why I'm telling minimum 50% course. The people who are already in the morning batches, 50% is completed. They are eligible. Maybe you might have completed the course some other institute or with some other trainer or some other videos you might have purchased as done the, then you can go ahead. Yes. Yes, any other doubts? Fine, guys. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time you have spent with me. This batch we are going to start from Monday. It's going to be started from Monday. Communicate with these numbers regarding the process and prerequisitions, fees details, enrollment, and next meeting ID and all. Regarding the subject, regarding the placement, regarding any other doubts you have, please let me know. I'm going to clarify here it is.
You said that there are previous 2 batches have happened. So is those 2 batches were in the morning or is it
No. Placement batch is completely evening. Morning is a general batch which we are running from 2017. It's more than 5 years. More than 5 years we are conducting Oracle Fusion Financials in the morning times. So that those things are happening. But nowadays, what happening? We know that in the market, very much people, the companies expected is a consultant should attend for an interview. I don't want to discuss proxies much on the demo. Just I'm telling that the expectation is very clear from the companies. Even if you are not having much experience, doesn't matter, but you are the main person who has speaked with them. You are the person who is going to work with them and expected more subject this all. So that's the reason we decided to start working with this.
Okay.
Yes, placement batch is completely in the evening, 5:30 p.m. That is fixed. It will never change because after my office hours only, I can spend time more with the consultants. If it is morning means that is 1 hour fixed duration, but evening we don't know. It will start at 5:30. Maybe it will close at 9:30 also sometimes because the assignments when we are doing, we'll be getting errors and we'll be discussing, rectifying. This all we'll be talking about. Fine, guys. Thank you. Thanks for your valuable time. Please subscribe for our online training YouTube channel and refer to someone else who are working here. Thank you. Thanks for your time.